All right, you guys ready? Midweek motivation. Are you ready? Are you sure that you're ready? Okay, let's dive in. So guess what? Of all things, I was thinking about the kinds of people that we're around. There's all different kinds of people that are in our circle. And what happens is a lot of times we put more on these people than they can handle. And sometimes people put more on us than we can handle. See, because when you think about the different types of people, everyone has a different level of capacity. And I realized this when I was working at a job. And in this job, I remember we had a task that we had to do. There were about 3 of us in the office that were this upper level management grooming type position. One of the people in the group actually said, you know what, I can't handle that. I have so much going on right now that I already need to do. They told the boss, I just can't do that. It kind of irritated me because that meant there was more work on my plate than the other guy's plate, because there were 3 of us. So you're telling us what you can't do, so that means there's more work for us. And so I didn't realize at that time until I looked back at it that, there's lazy. I thought he was just lazy, right? But he was actually being very straightforward in communicating what his capacity was. See, because when we put more on someone and we exceed their capacity, then what happens is the work that they do is poor. Then what happens is, they end up outputting all these different mistakes in their work and problems, and you have to go back and correct the problems, and it takes you more time to correct the problems than if you had actually just given them less work in the beginning. And I wanted to give you a quick demonstration. So we have a cup here, and we also have a cup here. I mean, they're both great for drinking, right? You get the job done. They can both get the job done, but one has a greater capacity than other. And what happens is we find this not just in work, but in relationships, and when we connect with people, and when we dive into our friendships, and we might, say, okay, well, I want this person to have a certain responsibility, or trust them with my heart, or trust them with certain secrets, or just being able to, I want their support, so I know they can handle that, capacity. I know they can handle that responsibility. And so our relationship grows. And then I put a little bit more on them because, I can handle it. So why can't they handle it? So it wasn't a big deal. They're able to do that. But then all of a sudden, I need to get more off of my plate, or I need to connect with them on a deeper level. And so I'm getting close to the fullness of their capacity of what they can handle. But you know what? I figure, I can handle a lot more, so then they can handle a lot more. And so we keep pouring. And so we keep trying to put more into that person. And then all of a sudden we're like, they're disappointing us. They're not doing what they need to do. They're not, able to keep up with us. They're not supporting us. And then all of a sudden we're so disappointed. They're not meeting our expectations. And the craziest thing is, the only reason we're disappointed is because we put more into that person than they can handle. We actually made that happen. It wasn't them. They are who they are. We can't fault them for being who they are. You might be a person of a greater capacity than they are, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just like there are people in life that are a greater capacity than you are. You've been stressed. You felt stressed when someone, puts more on you than you can handle, or when someone comes around you, you feel like they're pushing you. You feel like this intense connection. And so I wanted to share that because the craziest thing is when you think about relationships in so many different areas, in loving relationships, in romantic and even friendship relationships. When we think about our family, it's like, wow, we always have that one family member or several family members that seem to disappoint us. Or we have these people in our lives that seem to disappoint us. These people never asked for the responsibility of our expectation that we put on their shoulder, of what we attempt to pour into their life. They never asked for that. They never asked for that expectation. And then we get disappointed because they didn't live up to our expectations. So I'm telling you, just think about that. As we look to make this an amazing year, think about your relationships. Think about the people in your circle. And the beautiful thing is really look at how you can connect with them in a deeper way and let them breathe a little bit. Let them breathe a little bit. Look back to see sometimes when maybe you pushed the relationship too far. And you also might want to connect with more people that have greater capacity. That's completely up to you, but it starts with knowing your circle. It starts with knowing the people in your circle, what their potential is, but then not just what they can live up to, what their potential can be, how they currently exist now. Accept them for who they are. Don't just look and get disappointed because they're not living to their potential. You know, there might be a time down the road when this can reach this capacity, when it can grow and grow to this capacity, but it's not there yet. I have to accept it for what it is in its current state, and then also look forward to the joy and the growth that it can have when it gets to this capacity. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I appreciate your time, because this is really about being able to make an amazing life for ourselves and those around us. And so in order to do that, we're always stronger together than we are separately. So let's walk down that hall to success together.